So the first thing I like to do for leg day is to loosen up my muscles. And basically, I just foam roll my legs for about 20 to 30 seconds. And if there's any spot that I feel it's really tight, I will just like sit there for a little bit. I do the same thing for my glutes. I foam roll them for about 20 to 30 seconds. And if there's any tight spots, I hold those spots a bit longer. And this actually really hurts. I don't know why I keep smiling through it. Maybe I just like really like pain or something. The next thing I like to do is stretch very briefly, and I don't do it for too long because it's not necessary to stretch that much during a warm up. First thing I like to do is the figure four stretch, and basically you're just stretching out your glutes. The next stretch is to touch your toes, and that really gets your hamstrings. Okay, let's move on to the warm up, and what we're gonna do is use a resistance band. Okay, so the first exercise is called fire hydrant. And basically, imagine if you're a dog, you want to keep your leg up as long as possible so you can pee more. So when you bring your leg back down, bring it down slowly so you feel that burn. Next exercise is called clams. So you want to get in your paint me like a French girl kind of position. The key takeaway for this exercise is that you want to keep your foot planted on top of the other foot. Do your best not to let it like sway off the side. Next exercise is donkey kicks. You should really feel this in your glutes. Key takeaway for this exercise is to make sure your abs are always contracted. Okay, so we're done with that and we're going to move on to ab work now. We're going to be doing hanging leg raises, and the goal for this exercise is to make sure when you go up that you do not swing. Like, do not use your momentum to get up there, or else you're just cheating yourself, you know? In between the hanging leg raises, I like to also go back down and just kind of swing my legs. This way I gain like more hip mobility, and I do front and back, and after that I also do the sides as well. Watch me struggle. Oh my god, look at my face. I'm like grunting and everything. I'm also starting to cheat. You can see me like building a momentum when I go back down. Okay, I'm pretty weird when I go to the gym. Here's me pretending I'm handing out my resume still. I'm on the job hunt. Here's me contemplating life and also getting ready for the next exercise. First exercise is glute kickbacks. I like to start off with a pretty low weight and do about 3 sets of 20 reps for each leg. And then after I do that, I increase the weight. Okay, so let's switch legs and let's also talk about key components that you should be thinking while you do this exercise. First thing is you want to keep your abs contracted the whole time. I feel like that should be applicable for like every exercise. And another thing is that you want to keep your back flat the whole time. Do not let your back like dip in or cave up. Keep it flat, guys, flat. Also, remember to use the same weights for each leg. You don't want your butt to be uneven. That's going to be sad for your pants. Next exercise is cable side leg raises. You want to keep the weight fairly light and just focus on feeling the contraction. I do about 3 sets of 20 reps on each leg. Okay, so this is my all-time favorite exercise, hip thrust. And here's how I set up for it. I get 2 yoga mats and I get a block, and then I also get a bar, and I put on 25-pound plates on each side, and I use a little red clip thing to like secure it. I then slide the bar on top of me, and I make sure to put a yoga mat to provide cushion between the bar. To start this exercise, you really want to drive through your heels. So imagine that your toes were cut off, and the only way you can get off the ground is if you push through your heels. When you're at the top of the exercise, you really want to squeeze your ass right there. And a really good way to remember this is imagine you stole your sugar daddy's credit card and you're hiding it in between your butt cheeks. And you don't want that card to fall out. So when you hit the top, you're gonna like really squeeze your ass so it doesn't fall out. So remember, guys, squeeze them cheeks, don't let that card fall out, and you will have a good life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Throw that cash, make it rain. Da da da. God, I'm so weird. So I like to do about 3 sets of 20 reps of using a 25-pound plate, and from there I go up in weight. From there, I switch off to a 45-pound plate, and I try to aim for about 3 sets of 12 reps or maybe 6 reps. Some days I feel really good and I can do more, but the key thing through all these exercises is you want to feel the contraction. Another key thing that you want to remember during this exercise is to always look forward. Keep a double chin going on. Do not let your head hang back because if you do that, you're going to run into some lower back problems. So always remember, double chin and squeeze that ass. You got this, fam. It's going to be great. We're finally going to move on to our last exercise, but we also got to clean this up. Okay, so this is your last exercise, and honestly, I don't know what it's called. I like to call it giving birth exercise because that's what it honestly feels and looks like. But what we're gonna do is make sure you feel it in your glutes, and you want to go out and then come back in pretty slowly. Wabam. Okay, so the last few things to do is foam roll, and basically I like to repeat what I did for the warm up, but go a little bit longer. So I like to hit about 30 seconds for each leg. And right now I'm just gonna hit my glutes. Make sure if there's any tight spots, I really focus on that. Yeah, sorry, I'm like doing this super fast just so you guys get an idea of how it goes down. Alright, so let's move on to stretching now. First thing I'm gonna do is touch our toes. And I do for each side about maybe 30 seconds to 40 seconds. You really want to take your time with this. Next stretch is for your quads, and the key thing about this exercise is that you want to bring your hip forward like that. It's really hard to do that at first, but you'll get used to it. And I do this for about 40 seconds each leg. Then we go back to figure four, hit about 40 seconds each leg as well. Man, I look so done. Very last stretch is the pigeon stretch. You want to bring one leg forward and just kind of like, yeah, just hang out there, I guess. Don't forget to do both legs for all these exercises. That would be pretty bad if you forgot to do the other, so don't forget. Hold this for about 40 seconds as well. The very last thing I like to do is the cobra stretch. It's really good for helping stretching out your abs. I also like to roll my neck a little bit, crack, 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 let that release, and we're done. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this workout.